Black history they don't want you to know. The real integration of college football. 42-21. That was the final score of the 1970 game between Alabama, then an all-white team, and the Southern California Trojans. Nothing less than the 42-21 trouncing that Southern Cal administered that day could have dragged Alabama's die-hard segregationists into the modern football landscape. Paul Bear Bryant, Alabama's coach, and his staff began to reach out to the best black athletes. By the end of the 1960s, because at that time, the top recruits wouldn't even consider playing for the Crimson Tide. Some people speculated that segregation cost Alabama a national championship when the two-time defending champion Tide went 11-0 in 1966 and yet finished third behind Notre Dame and Michigan State, both who were 9-0-1. Alabama was coming off a poor season under Bryant. They were 6-5 and was taking on, in USC, a team that some thought had a shot at the national title. And far more significantly, Bryant was, for the first time, inviting an integrated team from outside the state to play in Alabama against one of the last schools in the country with an all-white team. The Trojans, with a black quarterback, Jimmy Jones, and two fine runners, Sam Bam Cunningham and Clarence Davis, who scored 2 touchdowns in the game, humbled Alabama before a nearly silent crowd. The next year, the Crimson Tide had a black varsity player, John Mitchell. Mitchell, the first black player to start for Alabama, later became the first black assistant coach at the university. Stories like Mitchell began to crop up elsewhere in the South. Ozzie Newsome, Alabama's All-American receiver from the mid-1970s, went on to become the first black general manager in the National Football League. And Sylvester Croom, a center, one of the first black stars Bryant recruited after the SEC game, later returned as an assistant coach at Alabama, and in 2004 became, at Mississippi State, the first black coach in the SEC. That 1970s game would go on to change football in the South, in the National Football League, and in all of the country, because it showed fans, spectators, and football authorities alike that integration was the future of football. Black history they don't want you to know.